Looks nice.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Ready? All right. Thank you for joining us. Before we get to Mayor President Guillory's comments, just want to let you all know that Mayor President Guillory is happy to announce that we'll be hosting a monthly series of town hall meetings starting next Wednesday at 9 a.m. right here at City Parish Hall in the Council Auditorium. So it's a good opportunity for folks to share their concerns directly with the Mayor President based on the number of emails and requests he gets on a daily basis for a conversation. So we will have opportunities for people to call in or email and Facebook ask their questions if need be, because we do have limitations on the number of people that we can have in the council chambers. So I'll be providing you with more information on that later on. But Mayor President Josh Guillory.
Thank you, Jamie. You know, thank you for being here, but there's one lady that we have failed to give as much thanks as we should, and that's our interpreter here. So thank you for all that you do and for always being here and helping make sure that we're able to communicate to all of our pairs. It means a lot to us, so thank you. Good afternoon. We have confirmed 607 cumulative cases of COVID-19 in Lafayette Parish since March 18th on a base of 13,239 tests. We are still reporting 23 fatalities here in our parish. On a historical note, the Marquis de Lafayette, namesake of our wonderful city and parish, died today on May 20th in 1834. Over 200 years after the American Revolution, we still remember the bravery of this wealthy teenage French orphan who defied his king to come to America in support of our independence from Britain. He is a major reason we won the war and drink coffee instead of tea. If his contribution to American independence isn't enough, we only need to look as far as the tapestry on the wall and the statue outside of City Parish Hall to see the impact that one person can have on the course of history. We continue to see the devastating economic impacts of our public health emergency. Last night, after an extended, in-depth discussion, our city and parish councils approved our plan to utilize the $850,000 COVID Community Development Block Grant from HUD to provide cash grants to Lafayette small businesses. This initiative will now be presented to HUD for approval, and we will provide information about the application process as soon as it is finalized. These low and moderate income and minority-owned businesses have been forced to close by the government, but they are unable to access federal assistance such as the Paycheck Protection Program and Economic Injury Disaster Loans. While many of them are finally reopening, the loss of revenue over the last 2+ months has been devastating. Special thanks to the Lafayette Economic Development Authority for agreeing to provide personnel to support and administer the grant selection process at no cost and committing an additional $200,000. With these additional resources, we are at over $1 million for local small businesses. One purpose of these LEDA funds will be to help small businesses in our local municipalities outside of Lafayette, in Broussard, Carencro, Dusson, Scott, and Youngsville, who are not eligible for the CDBG funding provided to Lafayette Consolidated Government. Last night, we heard impassioned testimony regarding both the small businesses in need in our community and families in need of housing and utility assistance. My thanks to Kim Boudreau of Catholic Charities and Lee Rachal of Arch for providing valuable information about the housing and utility challenges faced by thousands of families in our parish as the emergency declarations wind down and the phased reopening of the economy continues. If you would like to make a contribution to support the work of Catholic Charities, the Acadiana Regional Coalition of Homelessness, or other nonprofits working on these issues, please call 311 and press 2. A LEDA representative will give you information on how to directly provide support to these nonprofits. My sincere thanks goes to Councilwoman Liz Webb-Hebert, who identified an additional $200,000 in existing funding, and perhaps more, within the Community Development Department that can be used for rental and utility assistance. Last night, I was pleased to pledge my support to ensuring these additional funds are used to help these very families in need. We also heard last night about the more than 4,000 families that are in arrears to LUS and potentially subject to disconnection. These ratepayers represent about $1.2 million owed to LUS. While Director Lowell Duyon and his staff are working with customers to provide a flexible payment plan and to assist in whatever way possible, more help is still needed. The LUS Share the Light program currently only generates about $40,000 a year, so the amount available is well short of what is needed at this time. I strongly urge those who have the ability to donate to this program that is carefully administered by Catholic Charities. Please remember that you can make a donation to Share the Light on your monthly electric bill. If you would like to make a more significant donation because you want to support those who are housing and utility insecure, please call 311 and press 2 to let a LEDA associate know of your desire to help. They'll make sure you get the information you need, as this is a critical time for our community, so every dollar helps. Like the Marquis de Lafayette, we never know what our actions will mean for those who come after us. For all we know, there's a young child here in Lafayette Parish, in a family of modest means, who may someday change the course of history. Who knows what even a small gesture of support could mean in the life of such a child? If you are able to help, please do. I will do my part and urge our citizens and my colleagues in elected office to do the same. I hereby pledge $5,000 from my campaign fund to support the Share the Light program. I'll bring the check to our next press conference. Together, we will achieve victory over this virus. We will work together for a safer, more prosperous future. And we will work to ensure that we are all treated fairly, no matter where we live in our wonderful parish. Let's please take a moment to pray for all of those who have lost their lives and their livelihoods to this virus. Please join me. Have time for questions.
I got one.
Yes, sir.
So when will the CDBG funds for small businesses be sent to HUD for final approval?
Great question. Did we pick that up? No? Okay, so I'll repeat it. So the question was, when will basically our HUD application be sent off? So I signed the ordinance last night. Thank you to both of our councils for their support in this initiative. Thank you to Veronica Williams, the clerk of both of our councils, who had that ordinance ready for me to sign right before the city council meeting began. So that's pretty quick. So our community development department is ready to send that today. They may have already sent it already. And once we get that application finalized, we'll go, and probably before the finalization of the application, we'll release to the media and to the public ways on how you can actually apply.
Happen if HUD didn't approve it?
We don't anticipate having any issues. We were pre-approved before we sent out. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I saw a study today by the American Healthcare Association that suggested it would cost $250,000 to test all the nursing home residents and staff in Lafayette Parish just once. I'm curious if you guys have considered any plans to use the emergency money that the parish allocated to help nursing homes increase their testing, since the state is insisting that has to happen more frequently with the outbreaks there.
That's not a bad idea, Andrew. I think all options are on the table. We still have a significant amount of the funds available to us. want to take this opportunity to also thank our stakeholders in the healthcare profession. We oftentimes thank Our Lady of Lourdes, Lafayette General, LHC, our wonderful nurses and healthcare workers that answered the call to go to the Cajun Dome, for example, the Cajun Dome screening site. But there's also other medical warriors on the front lines. You have Acadian Ambulance and our other ambulance services, MedExpress, and other parishes in the region. And we're having in-depth discussions with those entities as well to see how we can partner together to get our people tested, whether they're in nursing homes or not. But not a bad idea. Appreciate you bringing it to the table. Might need to hire you. No, you're pointing. Y'all can't see the hand and arm signal back there. That's okay. Good job, Scott. Any other questions? Yes.
Long conversation last night, and a lot of points were brought up. Was there anything that particularly moved you to make the $5,000 donation that you've committed to share the light?
I think our community motivates me. I think other people stepping up to the plate, and I believe actions, but honestly, Neil, I believe actions speak louder than words. I can't ask other people to do something I'm not willing to do myself. But I again urge our community to consider, if you're in a position to do so, to please donate. Share the Light is a wonderful program, and you can do it as easy as adding a little bit, maybe $1 or $2, $10 or more to your monthly electric bill. But I also urge you, if you don't want to go that route, or maybe you want to make a more significant donation, please call 311 option 2. We are all in this together. We do have one future together. We are one parish, and together we will get through this. So great program, and I appreciate you highlighting that, Neil. Yes, sir.
Josh, it's my understanding that the suspension of disconnections ended, I think, at the start of this week. I'm not exactly sure when the 60 days ended, but are there plans to continue that through the end of the governor's current order, or is it just working on the payment plans right now?
No, thank you, Andrew. So we're going to continue to work on payment plans at this time, and kudos to our director, Lowell Duyon, but also the wonderful administration staff that he has within our administration at LUS. Hardworking individuals I can tell you firsthand that care. Their heart is in the right place, their mind is in the right place, their work ethic is second to none. I've seen that firsthand. But that's not just in the field, though, Andrew. That's also, in the administration side, making sure that we're taking care of those, and in this case, the ratepayers of LUS, taking care of those that we're so blessed to serve. And this is just one of the many examples that we're trying our best to make sure that we do that. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Can you provide any more information on the loan program in terms of how many you think might be available, what the size of the loans, what the eligible uses are, just the criteria for, beyond the type of business that you've already identified?
Now, when you say loans, you mean the micro grants?
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was having a hard time hearing you. That's okay. So our micro grants, again, thank you to our city and parish council members for joining this fight and supporting and voting in favor of this last night. Still finalizing those details, so I appreciate you asking that. Just from a preliminary standpoint, though, we're looking at anywhere from, you can look at increments of 1,000, 2,500, maybe 5,000, 7,500 in certain cases. It's going to be hard for us on the LCG side to issue a grant just from a practical standpoint greater than 7,500, but our partners at LEDA have a little more discretion than we do. A good example was businesses, and you may be watching out there, businesses that are in the municipalities that wouldn't ordinarily qualify for CDBG grant money that was issued to Lafayette Consolidated Government. That's an example where LEDA can jump in. So that's an idea, but we're going to finalize the increments. Just another key component, though, the low to moderate income business would also have to show the need as well. So it's not, I gave you some examples, it's not as clear cut as those finite denominations.
Monitoring, where you're checking to make sure they use it for what they said they would use it for?
Yeah, they would have to prove there's a need, and sure, and subject to some pretty strict penalties. And if you go back and watch the council presentations last night, I believe Mr. Gautreaux with LEDA gave a really good detailed presentation in that regard as far as accountability. Great question. Great question. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate what you do. Remember, we are Lafayette Strong. We will get through this. God bless you. Thank you. All right.
Are there any further questions? right, just to let you know, starting next week, we'll be shifting to 2 days a week. We're looking at Tuesdays and Thursdays for our press briefings. That way it'll spread it out from not on top of the governor and whatnot. So we'll be putting out that information sometime in the next few days. Thank you all.